Hi and welcome back to another episode of Sprue Talk. It's been a while, but I'm pleased to be back on your screens and speaking to you all today. Today I'm joined by Matt Whiting, one of our designers here, and Mike Wild from Key Publishing. So welcome chaps, thanks for coming along.
Hi Dale.
You've come downstairs and you've come all the way from
the frozen north,
North Midlands. So thanks, chaps. So today's episode, we particularly want to talk to Mike about Model World Live, which is a new event you guys are hosting at the NEC in April. And then we've also got some new bits of pieces on the table, which are due for release very, very soon, which I know you're all very much looking forward to. But let's cover off the new stuff first. None of which you designed, Matt, which is never helpful when we're sat in front of the camera. But so very soon we will be releasing our brand new starter set P51, shadow stand, etc., etc. Everything you've come used to seeing from us with our starter set range. Easy to build, low part count, but it builds up to a lovely model. If you've built the Spitfire, if you've built the F-35. You'll know what to expect in this box.
Yeah, it's a really lovely little model. Comes with a shadow stand, minimal parts count, but it still shares the same shape as the bigger scale kits, and you end up with a lovely display piece at the end.
Yeah. And I believe, so the designer has told me that alongside the P51 and the 109 starter set that's due for release not too far behind the P51, that when you both put them on, if you put them both on their shadow stands, they're sort of in a dogfight action, so they're sort of banking away from each other a little bit.
Yeah, very much designed as a little pair of kits that go together.
Which I think is lovely, because that Spitfire sort of just sat there, and the F-35 is very much sort of sat there. But the F-35 has two prongs, doesn't it? I think, from memory. Yes. F-35 has two prongs, so you can bank them or do whatever. But so I think that's lovely. And then the big one, and particularly the first big kit release this year, new tool, is the B-24H Liberator, which again is due in a matter of weeks, early April. Looking for both of them to be released the same week, actually. So first B-24H in 72nd scale. Ever or proper. It's been done before, but not quite right. So we've gone along and done that, as you've seen in our range videos. Really looking forward to this release. Some amazing schemes.
Yeah. It should be good.
And some amazing interior detail. You're obviously far closer to this than I am, but
yeah. So it's got a full bomb load in there. There's some really nice little details, like oxygen bottles and all the crew stations and turrets and things like that. So there's a lot of scope to make a really nice model out of that.
Yeah, it's lovely. Anyway.
Yeah. And then our Airfix Model World team are itching to get one of these built as well.
So. Well, they're building one now, aren't they?
Exactly.
So we've got ours built. Both of our schemes are built, sat around somewhere. Nathan behind the camera has most probably already snapped a wing off, but I was a photographer, was it? No, okay. I knew someone would have done it, but so yeah, we've got those built. But I know Stu and Chris are
very keen to get this one built. So another exciting release for them.
But they always get stuff before anyone else, obviously, for the Airfix Model World magazine and website. But they always let me know how they're getting on there. But cool, brilliant. So that's the new stuff, or certainly the sort of new tool stuff that's coming out in the coming weeks. We've got some other bits and pieces coming out in the next few weeks as well. But let's get on to really why we're sat here today. So Mike, welcome again. Thanks for coming all the way down. So tell us about Model World Live. When is it? What's it include? Why should people attend?
So Model World Live is on April 27th and 28th at the NEC in Birmingham. We're putting together a brand new modelling show, the key being the modelling part. So this is not just about, traditionally we've done model railway shows. I'm probably more known for model railways than I am for scale modelling. But we're putting together a multi-modelling show to showcase all different varieties of modelling. Cool. We've got a huge range of different displays and stands. We've got a fantastic collection of scale modelling displays that are now coming together. We've got some full-size exhibits. We've got loads of hands-on stuff as well for people to get involved in actual proper modelling at the show as well. And I think it's going to be a fantastic weekend.
Brilliant. So we've obviously been talking this morning about bits and pieces, but not wanted to pick your brain too much on it and leave it for now. But full scale displays.
Yes,
you can tell us about all of that.
I can. Yes.
Yeah.
So the principal thing from a military point of view, we've got 2 tracked vehicles coming in.
Well done.
So we've got
Didn't call them tanks.
I didn't call them tanks. I've been told off many times for this at the office. So we've got a FV107 Scimitar and an FV434 as well. Both of those are fantastically restored by Midland military vehicles.
Yeah.
They're being transported in by road to then be on display throughout the full weekend. The 107, that's got full bar armour on it as well.
Wow.
And that does really quite special with bar armour on it as well.
It looks twice as big as it would do
Yeah,
normally.
exactly. It does
obviously.
make it look much bigger for what is, in the grand scheme of things, of tracked vehicles, quite a small vehicle, really.
Yeah.
So those are 2 really big standout exhibits in the halls in terms of physical full-size things.
Yeah.
We've got some other full-size vehicles coming in as well. For those who've got an interest in radio control, we've got a full-size version of the Tamiya Bruiser RC car. Which is
Do you know what that is?
Off-road type.
Yeah, I built a fair few Tamiya RC cars. So
so that'd be great for people who want to come and get a picture with it as well. We're trying to get a miniature one to go with it as well, so people can actually see the miniature one with the real thing as well. So it's not quite as Bruiser-ish as the Bruiser is, because it's based on a Toyota Hilux, but it's still pretty impressive. It's in all the same artwork livery as well, so that'd be a great little feature for people to come and get involved with.
Well, we're going to have to bleep the word Tamiya now. Which is going to make... So stop saying it so much, Mike. But no, it's fine. It's fine. But that's really cool. So you've got some RC stuff going as well?
Yeah, we've got RC stuff coming in as well. So we've got a huge display of radio-controlled trucks and excavators, and they're going to put together a 13 metre by 7 metre area they've got for radio-controlled trucks. And they'll be driving vehicles around all weekend, demonstrating what you can do with RC stuff.
Yeah.
And they've also got... they're bringing a ton of mud with them, so that they can...
Literally
a literal ton of real mud. And they're going to be building... by using radio-controlled excavators to load the mud into trucks, drive it around, take it to a loading point, and then start building a high-level road, which will eventually go across a bridge by the end of the weekend.
Wow!
So I can't wait to see that. I've developed a bit of a fascination for radio-control stuff at the minute. It's just so much fun.
but particularly the vehicle truck side, or
the radio-controlled trucks have really caught my eye at the minute. I think the flying stuff looks amazing as well, but just for my mindset doesn't. I don't think I can cope with that.
So 2 seconds into the ground, and then it's a whole load of money all over again.
Pain, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But we're also working to get some radio-controlled aircraft in as well. So I have a display of aircraft that the size of me. So they should be really impressive as well.
Yeah, and you're nearly, 6 foot?
Nearly 6 foot.
Well, they
yeah.
are,
Yeah.
so just in case.
Big aircraft.
Yeah.
Big aircraft, yeah.
So you did RC stuff as a young lad, didn't you?
yeah, I think it was started off with sort of clip together construction toys, mentioning no brand names.
No, it's okay.
Well done.
And then moved on to plastic kits, and then sort of that morphed into radio controlled cars. Used to race them with my mates at weekends. Good fun. But all the time, it's all of these different modelling genres are all linked. They're all you're making something, and you end up with something you're proud of afterwards. And at the same time, there's bits of engineering, bits of art and design, and that is probably one of the big things that pushed me into my career as a industrial designer. Certainly, sort of the mechanical side of things with the RC. So yeah, it's nice how it's come full circle, actually.
I really like the idea that there's going to be multiple modelling disciplines, if you like, if you can call them disciplines, but interests.
Yeah.
It's not just model rail, which obviously you're very much personally known for.
Yes.
It's not just scale modelling as in kit form. The RC stuff I'm particularly interested in. It always draws crowds. And
yeah, exactly. And there's some really fascinating parts of each of those different types of model making as well. It's like I look at what the scale modelling guys do just in our office, for example, and look at the paint finishes they achieve on the scale modelling aircraft, and I just go, I can't do that. I need to learn how to achieve that same kind of presentation and finish of a model. Whereas they look at what we do with a diorama on a big scale of the model railway and go, well, it's amazing how you create all the ground effects. How do you create the muddy tracks? How do you create the grass finishes? All those kind of details. And they're fascinated by that side of it. And that's what I'm really hoping we get from Model World Live, is that actually people get to sample different things from different areas. And everyone's got their own specialism. And we can all learn from each other and get a different sense of what you could do with your model, whether your model is a train, a plane, car, doesn't matter what it is. It's just about modelling. So
there's a huge amount of diorama building in model rails.
Yes.
Could you argue that it's model rail is more about diorama building than running a loco, isn't it?
I suppose it is, isn't it?
Well, it depends what you want, I guess. But if you just
Again,
want to put some track down on a table, then away you go. But
it's that really broad church again, isn't it? Where there's people who just want to run trains and they're not bothered about the scenery at all. But there's other absolutely stunning scenic layouts out there. I mean, there's some incredible scenic modelling that even beyond, again, my capabilities way beyond that in terms of people's capabilities with scenic modelling.
Yeah.
And it's like building a giant diorama. It just happens to have a train that runs through it.
Yeah.
But it'll always have buildings in it. It'll always have vehicles in it. It's always going to have trees, bushes, landscape, all those kind of things.
A story.
Yeah, exactly. There's a story to it. And there's also some really interesting techniques coming through now as well. And where traditionally a lot of the railway stuff, for example, used to rely on scratch building for the best stuff for creating individual structures and things. There's now laser cutting start to come through for that, which has brought different types of structures as well. For example, our biggest model rail we've got there, which is the biggest one there's ever been for double O gauge, made by Pete Waterman, the former record producer. That's going to be 208 feet long, model the West Coast Main Line, but it's modelling 3 stations. It's got full-scale buildings. All it needs is about the Britain 5 past over the top of it.
Well, we can arrange that. Yeah. Not the real thing, obviously, but
miniature, exactly.
I'll just throw a Lancaster over the top of it at some point. So is that... You said earlier it's going to be the longest... That layout is going to be the longest it's ever been at the show. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's the biggest it's ever been. So the long story short with that, so Pete started doing an event in Chester Cathedral each summer called Making Tracks. It started off by building a 64-foot layout, then he built 2 more 64-foot layouts the next 2 years. We joined all those 3 together at the Great Electric Train Show last October, and now we're joining all 3 of those together with another 100-foot of new layout at Model World Live.
Fantastic.
So it'll be
an
amazing diorama, if you like.
So you got into model rail a little bit, didn't you? Well, we talk about it in the office every now and then. It's one of those things that we like the idea of, but we know that when we get into it, it was just going to be an endless amount of time, which is amazing if you've got time for it.
Yeah, my son, there's a couple of really good local model railway exhibitions in Kent, which is where I'm based. So I've taken my son along, and we've had a really nice time there looking at all the layouts. So he's really keen for me to build him a model railway. I haven't quite got the space, but no, we have built a few little card buildings together, and I've got through working on some of the old vintage classic Airfix range. I started going back and building some of the more unusual ones, and probably the ones that are the least related to aircraft. So I ended up building some of the little old Airfix wagons, which are really super little kits. And alongside that, I've got into a bit of armour modelling as well. And there's a lot of transferable skills. You know, weathering a wagon is pretty much the same as weathering a tank, but on a slightly smaller scale. So sort of being able to pick different techniques out from sort of different genres of modelling, and there's a lot of sort of transferable skills, I think.
And that's one of the things I think that we know we'll be able to do Model World Live as well. We'll be able to get that sharing of skills happening as well. We've got demonstrators coming both for railway and scale modelling as well. So there'll be people there who people go and talk to and learn new skills from, and there'll be transferable things as well.
So name check those guys.
So we've got there's a guy called Dan Everson who does a lot of model making for our railway magazine. He's also a really busy military modeller in his spare time, so he's bringing a collection of both. He's also doing a demonstration of figure painting as well, using a lot of 3D printed figures. And we've got airbrush demonstration as well, so people are showing how you can physically use an airbrush. We've got plastic kit demonstrations from the London branch of the IPMS Society as well. We've got others doing rolling stock demonstrations. We've got people doing building construction demonstrations. We've got all kinds of things going off with that where you can go and learn from an individual about different techniques.
Ask questions. Instead of just searching for a YouTube video, which is how a lot of people seem to learn new skills, which is amazing.
That's right.
Resource of info, but it's about to go along and speak to those people.
That's right.
Face to face.
People really are there to be talked to. That's their sole purpose and aim of being there all weekend, is for someone to go and talk to them. Where you might go and look at some of the other exhibits and maybe be feeling that, well, can I ask these guys questions? Is it the right thing to do? Or maybe there's things that have been burning questions you've got about the hobbies that actually you can now go and talk to someone, ask them about it. So.
I always find that, whether you guys do, but you go to model shows, and I'm now talking purely plastic kit model shows, not train stuff. But you see the I'm going to say the old boys, and forgive me, but 9 times out of 10, it's the old boys sat behind the table. They've been there for 2 days. They're looking a bit tired, and I don't blame them. And it tends not to be particularly opening to ask questions. But actually, as soon as you ask a question, bang, spring in their step, stand up, and they cannot wait to tell you everything about their model kits and how they built it, or answer any of those questions. And but on the face of it, you're like, oh, I'm just going to look around and thanks very much and carry on. But actually, as soon as you ask a question,
definitely,
yeah. So I had exactly the same experience at the Peterborough Model Club show at the weekend, just local to where we're based up in Stamford, and there was a group there with an F1 display, and a bit of an F1 fan in the background as well, and just a couple of questions, and all of a sudden they were off. Just imparting knowledge, information, great. It's great to learn what people have put into their models as well. I think that's, like you say, actually a lot of these people, when they're at the shows, they do want to engage. They're there to show off their collection at the end of the day. And we've got some brilliant collections coming as well for displays. We've got to about 40 different modelling displays around the show.
Wow.
So we've got a number of different IPMS branch groups coming in. So we've got Brampton Club, which is quite well known around the scene. Bolton IPMS is coming as well. We've got Letchworth Group. We've got a model club from Chelmsford. We've got 3 or 4 clubs from around the Birmingham area as well, all doing different types of things. And they've also got all the associated special interest groups coming as well. So we've got a whole list of special interest groups now building up for the show.
Are they all on your website? Can people go and find
on the
all
website?
those?
And we've got new ones being added every day at the moment as well. So you're constantly adding new stands into the list to build up the show. So,
cool. So best to go on a Key Publishing website? Or?
Yeah, if you go to keymodelworld.com/modelworldlive, that will take you through to all the information about the show. And there's broken down separate lists in there as well for scale modelling displays, for demonstrations, for railway layouts, for special features, and all the news as well. Because we've got so many things happening with this show that I think I'm probably going to run out of weeks to tell people everything about it before we get there. So
that's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have, yeah.
So I guess if you're interested in attending, go and have a look at that website and have a look at who's exhibiting. Equally, we were talking about this earlier, you're filling up the space. Well, it's pretty much full already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much full. It's the last few scale modelling displays that are coming through at the moment.
Cool.
Tying off loose ends with those, make sure we've got the paperwork in place, we know exactly what stand size everyone needs, all the requirements, all those little details that make a show function and work on the day.
Or make a show a nightmare.
Yeah, we'll make
to
a show,
organise.
The spreadsheet, hell yeah.
But if there's any exhibitors out there or retailers, I guess, that would be interested in attending, then equally contact Mike through the website and link in the description. We'll make sure we put that in and go from there. But you were telling me that you have to book what was it, 80% minimum of the hall space.
Yes, we have to book a certain amount of the space in order to get the contract with the NEC to run an event.
Because the NEC halls are colossal, aren't they?
Yes, so they're
for something we're showing off in scale, they end up being massive.
We've got 10,500 square meters, so this is a big show. And we're really pleased actually when we first started putting the show together back end of last year in all the detail. We were in a different hall. We were in hall 17, which gave us a maximum space of 8,000 square meters. But we've had so much good response to the event. We've actually upgraded the hall in year 1, and we've got brilliant ideas for year 2 as well. This thing's got loads of potential to grow as well.
Have you told Pete Waterman yet that we've had to order a bigger hall?
Yes, I did mention.
Has he already ordered extra again on his layout that he hasn't told you about yet? It just keeps on adding to this thing.
Just keep making it bigger and bigger. Yeah,
it will have to be housed at the NEC permanently at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I really want to stress with this. This really is about the total modelling scene. I know I've talked about railways a bit. It's a natural slant that I go because it's my first choice of modelling, but equally I'm also a scale modeller as well. I don't do as much as I used to do, but I still love getting involved from time to time with that. This is about modelling for everyone. We have got the scale modelling displays, we have got the hands-on things as well. As you can get involved in building and racing wooden race cars, you can get involved with making little scenic dioramas, having a go at things whilst you're at the show. We've got another stand which is doing a make and take for plastic kits as well. So you really can get involved with the hobby whilst you're at the show.
I mean, we touched on it earlier. It's learning from each of those, I'm going to call it disciplines. If you want to go and learn about diorama building, then it's most probably the rail guys that you need to go and speak to because they do far more of it than others. If you want to learn about electronics, then it's maybe some RC guys, but also the train guys as well. If you want to learn about weathering techniques, it could be any of them, I guess. But that's what interests me to it. And you told me earlier that some of your plans for year 2, and I'm really excited to see how all that can evolve and encompass more scale modelling disciplines and an interest into it, because we can all help each other here. So target audience?
Anyone who loves models. We've got things to suit pretty much every age range. I think through from youngsters right through to the seasoned modeler. If you're a real diehard, we've got stuff for you. If you've got someone who's just on the periphery, maybe just thinking about getting involved in modelling hobbies, actually we've got things you can get involved with. We've got things you can drive, things you can build, things you can interact with. So it's a show which isn't one of these where you're just going to go and look at things on a table, look at things on a desk that you can't touch. We want people in this show getting involved with modelling, hands-on, and enjoying it.
So real sort of family outing.
Yeah, that's right. And for the families as well, we've got on Sunday we do kids go free on Sundays for the tickets. So for every paying adult that comes into the show, you can bring up to 2 under 16s free of charge into the show with them as well. We want to make it open so kids can get involved with the hobby, start seeing, learning, getting excited about what models can do for them. So
that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Well, kudos to you guys for opening up to kids go free on the Sunday. That's huge.
Yeah, it's something we've done for a number of years with the Great Electric Train Show actually, and we've found it's a really well received thing. But it's also about trying to give a little bit back as well to the modelling community. We want to be here to support the community long term. So that's an important point.
Well, it can be really expensive for families to go to events like this. So to not have that as a barrier on the Sunday is really cool. Yeah. Well, brilliant. So how did you get into modelling then?
I started out in modelling when I was very young. Very young. So I started out with model railways, but the whole household was into transport. My sister's now a fully qualified HGV driver because it's one of those things you always wanted to do. My dad's
Did you do that for a living? Or
she does it as a side job on a Saturday. She's an accountant day to day. She drives lorries at the weekend. It's for fun.
I would never put those two together. But
exactly, yeah. My dad worked in bus industry throughout his entire career. I've always been involved with some form of transport somewhere, everywhere. Built more Airfix kits than I can remember as a youngster. Still build them now, like I say. But
you go and ask Stu and Chris for Chris. They run the Airfix Model World magazine. You go and ask them for some freebies.
Yes, I really like that one.
So, can I build that Liberator? I don't know what it is, but can I just build that one, please?
I like that one. So I've always been had quite a soft spot for the American aircraft as well. P-51 Mustangs are one of my favourites amongst the American aircraft, and always like the B-17s as well. Had pretty much most of the main Airfix American aircraft that were done back in the 1990s.
Careful, don't show your age off too.
Yeah,
in the 90s. In the 90s.
Yeah. We'll go that far.
Whilst listening to your Spice Girls on a CD player or whatever.
Don't have tape decks then.
Yeah.
It's everything for me that is a model or a vehicle. If it's got wheels, I'm there.
Yeah. I'm always interested to hear the number of titles that Key Publishing have. Yeah. Not that they massively change every time we meet, but there's always a new one that comes out that I didn't quite know about before. And so Key Publishing have a huge amount of titles sat within the business, don't they? So obviously Hornby Magazine, Rail, Boo, Airfix Model Magazine, but
Champion,
then... Go on. Can you list them all? Real test now.
I can't list all of them. I think we've got 25 titles. We've got Hornby Magazine, Airfix Model World, Fly Past is our biggest aviation title. We've got Airliner World. We've got Combat Aircraft. We've got Aviation News. We've got
Air Forces Monthly.
Air Forces Monthly. Have I said Combat Aircraft?
No, you haven't.
Combat Aircraft. We've got Buses Magazine, Buses Preservation, Classic Bus, Modern Railways, Modern Locomotives Illustrated, which is a quarterly. Bowls International.
That's always the random one.
That's the random one, yeah. That's, and I think there's Aeroplane as well. There's Aviation Archive. I said Aviation Archive, no, but we've got so many titles that even I can't keep those sometimes.
But in there's always the Bowls magazine.
Bowls magazine, which I always remember that one.
Yeah. It's always the random one, but obviously, especially the one magazine that connects them all together. There's most probably a demographic that is... goes bowling in the summer, or indoor bowls now, I guess. But is most probably interested in one form of those hobbies, as well during the winter months.
Yeah,
but
that's right. Yeah, and then on top of all the monthly magazines, which is the ones we just talked about, we've also got specials going out all the time as well. So we've got, like for example, we've just done one on the P-51 Mustangs, which is dedicated to the entire story of those aircraft. We've got regular ones of those going out across all different genres of what we cover as well, all focused on transport. Apart from bowls.
apart from bowls.
But it is round, so it kind of counts as a wheel.
Sort of.
Sort of.
It's flat, isn't it? I don't know. They all sort of just flop down, don't they? But that's brilliant. Thank you very much. So if you, I guess viewers, if you want to know more about Key Publishing, jump on their website. Want to know more about Airfix Model World magazine, then there's a website for that. You've got Model World, which is the online...
Yeah, so Key Model World is our main website, which brings together all the modelling brands in one place. So you can find scale modelling content on there, rail modelling content on there, all the event details are on there as well. Plus we've got a new shop there where you can buy all the magazine products as well. So you can go into there, buy your magazines, buy your specials, get your one-offs about P51 Mustangs.
Yep.
That's a subtle hint there about the P51, isn't there?
P51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also you've just bought some more bits and pieces from us as well.
Yes,
so I
that's
know
right,
they're going to
yeah.
go on there. And
Yes, we've got a few kits available as well. We're starting to build up what we've got available with that as well, just to give people a bit more of an experience from Key Publishing. So.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Mike. So just to recap, the dates are...
April 27th and 28th, 2024 at the NEC in Birmingham and Hall 12.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to that. So Airfix, just in case you were wondering, we are going to be there. Airfix and Hornby Rail team will be there with our display stand. So we're planning to have 3 or 4 tables, I think we've agreed, full of our latest kits that we've got available to show. So the B24 will be there, the P51, the new tool Chinook, the one that you've designed, and I always forget the name of it.
The Bulldog. Bristol Bulldog.
That'll be there. So it'll be the first outing of the year of all our new tools that we've got to show. So come along and see all of that stuff. Matt's going to be there with James, part of the marketing team. So if you've got any questions for those guys, then go and ask them. And then the Hornby team are having, I think they've got a couple of layouts there. Demo of HM7000, which is their new Bluetooth iPad thing. If you're into rail, I guess you already know what that is. Some layouts, and the team will be there for you to ask them any questions about new bits and pieces. And I'm sure they'll be displaying some new stuff as well.
Yes, it should be, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Airfix Model World team, our magazine team, I know they'll be bringing their latest builds from the magazine as well.
Yeah.
So things like Stu's 148 Westland will be on display. And I think we'll have the 124 Spitfire there as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
nice builds that have been in the magazine. So things you might have seen only in print before, you're actually going to see the physical finished result.
The seeking,
Seeking.
yeah, that's
So, yes.
it. Yeah, seeking. You tell you're into rail, not. Yeah, so that's really cool because, as you say, most often you don't see that stuff. It's just in the
That's
magazine.
right. Yeah, it's nice to see things that you've seen in print in the real world.
Yeah.
You get to have a closer look at them as well.
And speak to the guys that built them.
Yeah.
So
They'll be on hand all weekend as well, so you can chat to Stu and Chris about their models and learn more about what they've done with them as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Buy them a pint in the bar in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Or
they
coffee
appreciate it.
for Stu.
Coffee for Stu.
Yeah, coffee for Stu.
I can't remember what milk he takes, but that was the joke. But anyway, because I can't remember, not so much of a joke, but white, I think. Brilliant. Right. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much for your time, guys. And great to see you again on another episode of Sprue Talk. We will make these regular occurrence again. We'll get Matt down. He can talk about his 48 scale Bulldog and the other bits and pieces that we've got coming out this year. And thank you, Mike, for travelling all this way down to be with us today.
You're very welcome.
And thank you for organising what will be an amazing show for the modelling community in the UK. And we look forward to seeing you all again at an event, another episode of Sprue Talk. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Speak to you soon. Cheers.
Bye-bye.